Good morning, everybody. I'm here at my early morning working station at Starbucks. I just wanted to check in with you on this first day of Unit 5. So we only have Unit 5 and Unit 6 to go. Today I will be providing feedback on all of your work from Unit 4. Up to this point, I've only given feedback and scored the reading tweets. Please once again let me know if you have any questions about the feedback that I provided for your topic for the final project um, and your research questions. Remember, as you go along, the research question should just be the thing that you really want to learn about most as you complete your research, and then also it should lead you to some conclusions about the significance of the topic that you've chosen. So it should be the kind of question that will allow you to draw some sort of analysis about why your topic is important and how it fits into New Mexico history. Tomorrow night on the 11th, Wednesday, which is the last day of Unit 5, the long list of resources is due. And I had a couple of questions about that, so I just wanted to address it here really quickly. It is pretty much just what it sounds like, so don't overthink it. All you have to do is include the URLs for anything and everything that you have found as you've been completing your research. So this list can and should include things that you're not going to use for the final project on Storify. Because as you go along, hopefully you're making choices about which sources will work best for that final project and thinking about why that is the case. Please keep in mind that you do need to have at least two, if not three, academic sources from SunCat OneSearch or similar. I say or similar because you could use something like Google Scholar, or if you use a book from University Press, which has obviously been put through the academic peer review process. If it's published with the University Press, that's the case. Those would all count as being academic sources. So again, it could be a journal article, it could be a book, however you find those. When you find those sources on SunCat OneSearch, you'll need to use the permalink to put your source into Storify for the final project. Because remember, Storify is one of those places where you can just drag in the URL, or I should say copy the URL, and then drag in your source, and that's how you are citing the source. So you don't have to construct a bibliography according to MLA or APA or Chicago style or any of that, but instead your sources are all just right there via links. The ones that can sometimes be tricky are SunCat OneSearch, so that's why I'm bringing it up. I do have a tutorial that is included in the final project tab that goes through some steps about how to bring in those sources into Storify. If it comes down to it and you just can't make it happen, you can tweet the source and then pull the tweet into Storify as a kind of workaround for bringing those sources in. So if you have any questions, please let me know. One last thing to say, having you kind of run the gamut in terms of the types of sources that you're using for this. So I want us to be thinking about how we should critically evaluate all of the information that we come across, whether it be academic, whether it be just on the internet, or whether it be social media types of sources. So I did ask you to use social media for the final project. What I'm thinking there is that as you've done your research, you'll have a basis, some body of knowledge about your topic, so that you can judge and evaluate the validity of conversations that are happening about your topic on blogs or on social media. Because as many people point out when they ask questions about that one, not the best sources in terms of objectivity or even reliability or credibility. Yeah, sure, that's the case. I mean, there are academics who tweet, there are academics who blog. Those have a lot more credibility due to the authors because they have expertise in the field. But again, that's kind of what I'm asking you to think through. Are these just people talking about Billy the Kid, if you chose that topic? Or is this an academic who is writing a blog post or sharing a tweet about Billy the Kid? And how does that make the conversation on social media different? What should we be looking for on social media when we look for information there, if we do? Lastly, if you can't find a conversation on social media about your topic in particular, and sometimes that is the case since we're talking about historical events and people. Um, would you please just note that in your either in your long list and in your Storify project. So just say, I looked for social media, but there wasn't really anything there, and that's okay because sometimes that happens. So kind of bring in the social media and evaluate it if it's there, and that'll maybe give you some interesting things to think about in terms of, why are people talking about this topic in more informal social media ways, excuse me, than they might be about other topics. Why aren't they talking about this topic on social media as opposed to things like Billy the Kid, who gets a lot of play on social media? So again, hopefully just some things to think about. As always, from Starbucks, I apologize for the background noise.